Well, it really sucks that Nick couldn't be here because of the accident.
Yeah.
Anyway,
I mean, he's healing, though.
from the picture I saw.
That man will sit and talk for 15, 20, 30 minutes
What happened?
for a black rifle.
God Emperor.
I
we'll do
always
God
like to just use that to troll those other
The
fucking
God
dudes. I
Emperor.
don't fucking care, but it's like when they're around,
Those
I'm like,
other dudes.
when they're around, I'm like, they're like, well, I'm the founder. I'm like, nah, you weren't there.
Core 1.
That was a year later, actually.
The Thor thing. Like,
Did you make the beans? Just Evan being Evan.
Yeah.
King of trolls.
Yeah. Well, I don't know.
I'm thinking that Thor Ragnarok. Well, Matt Best is the founder. Is he though?
Is he? I don't know.
There we go.
JT.
Audio's good. JT, he's the one that brewed the first coffee, right? And then he brewed it, made it, showed you how to do it, and then once from there, you got motivated by him. I
Yeah.
think that was the story.
That was roughly the story, but just completely different. I heard
That's the version I heard
completely
from the
different.
New York Times.
Evan Hafer,
the most reliable news source in America.
hater of coffee.
Hater
Speaking of which,
coffee.
I did want to ask you,
Yeah.
out of all the Democrats you've donated to, who's your favorite?
It's so hard because there's so many.
know.
There's so many to choose from.
And did the $500 really turn the tides?
yeah.
That's my favorite part.
A $500 bet.
Yeah, a $500 bet. Hey, Tulsi, hey, you know what? Your friend runs for president. You have to contribute, but I mean, yeah, who would have known I would have worn that around my neck?
Like 5 years
To be fair,
5 years later.
To be fair,
too.
it's fucking funny now because I'm like, yeah, it's $500.
Yeah.
Really,
Hold
guys?
on.
Like-
Kyle, yeah, Evan's here right now.
we got
Bring him in.
we got him, guys.
We got him.
Hold on. Got him on the phone. Let's go.
You ready, Cody?
Yeah, yeah.
Oh, hold this up. You just
do
gotta
it.
No,
pop
no
it.
problem.
You just gotta pop it.
Okay.
And then drink the whole thing.
3, 2, 1.
Hi, everyone. Welcome to the Unsubscribed podcast. I'm joined today by Eli Double Fat, Congressman Herrera, and God Emperor of Black Rifle Coffee Company, Evan Hafer. That's it.
The lighting
That's
was
all
off.
I
I
have.
could tell.
That's the
I
only
looked
time I'm
at
going to talk this entire podcast. So that's
That's what the comment section tells me. Yeah.
I know that was the last week's episode. Or
God
the one,
damn it, dude.
Dude, with Luke, Cody came in. He's like, I'm going to start talking more. I'm going to show everyone that this is my fucking podcast. Let's go.
You both did the same thing. Well, Brandon and him started riffing about historical stuff, and I didn't know how to contribute to shit. Eli didn't either, though. We were just
That was like
the whole time like, this is cool. I didn't know this about Abraham Lincoln.
And you're just pointing at Luke. You're like, oh.
No,
He's
this-
like signing to
no,
me
cool
during
stuff.
the podcast.
I love the comment section. They're just like, man, I'm so fucking glad Cody's finally back on the podcast so he can say nothing.
Finally.
There was actual comments saying, hey, you're actually talking and everything. Everyone's like, hey. And then we got you first time on the podcast.
First time, you know, I've been
We'll be
waiting. I've been waiting for the right moment, and it felt good. It felt really good.
So were we.
For some reason, right now it just feels better.
We were like, when will the best time for Evan to be on? Let's ride the wave from Joe Rogan into this one. We'll get those views.
Get those, yeah. We'll just like
That's what it is.
Yeah. Fuck your stories, Evan. I don't give a
Who cares?
shit
My
about
stories are
those.
stupid either way.
Yeah, what have you
Doesn't
done?
matter. Yeah, it's stupid.
Dude, welcome, buddy.
Thank you,
How
thank
you
you.
doing? How
Yeah.
you been?
I'm good. This coffee, by the way, is
So
so bad.
Black Rifle?
Black Rifle Coffee.
Because it's been sitting on the counter for how long?
Dude.
A year?
Probably
2 years? Like it's
Probably 2 years.
Fuck, dude. It's been open for way too long. I'm gonna drink it either way. It's better than nothing, but
This is the only time you got angry. Like, you've been so happy. He took a sip of the coffee, and it looked like I shit in his coffee.
It was
because
like
it tastes like that.
It looked like a personal slight.
Yeah. Because it's like we're right down the road. Like you just gotta text and be like, hey, I need more coffee. But no, you just keep that on there. I'm like, okay.
Like
okay.
that's what you have for your guests.
Yeah.
Like
know.
that's your introduction.
You guys don't really
Have you
brew
guys
like
had
coffee.
Black Rifle coffee? That's how I have a 8-year-old bag. Hey, guys, if you want the best coffee ever.
And they're drinking it going, oh yeah. I was thinking about this because every time now I see you, that guy that we ran into at the
Jake Paul fight.
the Jake Paul fight, where he's like captured us in front of the bathroom for easily, 10 minutes probably, where he called you a lion. You're like a lion. You're like,
You didn't know about this, Eli?
No,
Oh
I don't
my
know
gosh.
this entire
Oh,
story.
God.
So we were at the fight, and then we were like, okay, let's go hang out and talk because it was just kind of boring. And so we found ourselves next to the bathroom because I needed to go find a bathroom, and we're just like hanging out talking. This dude walks up, and he's just really
High.
enamored,
Very high.
super enamored. Where he's like, "You're like a lion, man. You're mean. You're beautiful." And to be fair, it is beautiful. I mean, it is.
Thank you. It means a lot.
But now every time I see him, like a lion.
I never know how to reply to that either.
No, especially with the light right now, bro. That that hair is you got that rim light going. You're looking like a lion, brother.
Well, you know this is like kind of like my area to sit now, so I know you arrange the lighting in such a way.
Specifically for that.
Eli's
Yeah.
lighting-tism.
Just bounces right off your hair.
I
dude.
know. Now everyone's like, man, that is really good.
Damn.
Are you ever gonna go? Are you gonna go short ever again, or you think you're gonna keep that thing like?
I'm cutting it soon. I need to start, like, as I'm getting older, I need to start, ramping it down to where, like, I can have it branded where it's, shorter hair is okay. And then eventually when I go bald, like, it's not like a freak out. I'm not going to do that, like, bad comb over.
Are you gonna go bald?
I'm terrified of it.
That's
Really?
pretty thick hair, bud.
Yeah. Well, you get your
Genetics.
genes from your I think your androgenic genes from your mother's father, and he was bald as shit.
Oh, man, I'm fucked too.
Yeah, we're
Oh shit.
I heard that too, but my mother's father was bald as shit, and it's still holding on, like it's still there.
yeah.
So,
Good
yeah.
head.
How old are you now?
47 next month.
Yeah. Okay. Shit.
Yeah, I'm old.
Evan's the oldest one here.
No.
Yeah, I'm old, man.
Congratulations, Eli.
I see you guys, and it gives me hope. I think you have that idea as a kid. I'm like, man, I hit 32. I'm gonna be bald.
Yeah.
Yours is gonna. You got that fucking Mexican head of hair, bro.
Every time I go get my hair cut, I'm like, any problems? Is this the appropriate amount of hair falling out right now?
Oh, we good?
You're asking the barber as if he's a doctor or she's a doctor, like, hey, what do you got going on back there? Is there anything I should be concerned with? Maybe some, thinness or anything? It's just
I
like,
can't see what's going on back
Yeah.
here. I don't know.
Yeah. So, Mr. Evan, there is a story. Okay, Evan is probably one of the greatest trolls any of us has met. He will troll to troll, just to troll. I didn't experience until moving to Utah. And I was like, oh, okay, this is how he is 24/7.
It's my favorite side of Evan nobody gets to see.
Yes,
Yeah.
exactly. And then it's to the degree most people, when I troll, I'll take Cody's water for an hour.
Yeah.
He will do shit
When
for
the fuck? Whoa. No, we're
it's
backing up.
not
What
that.
the fuck?
I don't know. I was
That's not
using
a troll,
random-
Eli. That's just random kleptomania.
That's theft, Eli. I'm sorry.
Oh, I'm upset now.
You stole my fucking water, bro.
Your extent of trolling is, where'd my water go?
He's a really nice troll, dude.
Hey, look, here's
kind.
a meme. Ha ha ha. And you're
First
like,
they're
I'm-
sour, then they're sweet.
Yes. It's now yours was your wife. With the no.
Okay.
Well, reset.
Okay.
Reset. Your wife had a garden. Have you heard this?
Yes, can we talk about it though? We
Yeah.
don't, we don't
Can
want to
we-
ruin.
She'll never listen to this, so it's
That's
fine.
what I
Like,
thought.
she'll never listen to this. Yeah.
Please, just
Bro code, Fight Club shit.
So
Come on.
let's rewind a little bit, because one of my favorite things to do is troll my wife, and I lay in really long, elaborate plans to troll her that might take a year. Now I'm setting this one up to last years. This is not just something I'm going to do one season. This is something I'm going to plan on doing for at least a decade. So last year she planted a garden, and I took some of the seeds and I planted pumpkins around the yard. And those pumpkins consumed the yard, because I don't know if any of you guys have ever seen a pumpkin patch obviously is huge, but they spread out and go everywhere. And it was mind blowing to my wife, because she's like, I just can't understand what the fuck is going on with these pumpkins and why they're everywhere. Sounds a little bit mundane, but not really, because I'm like, I don't know. But next year it's going to get better, because then it's going to be who knows what, like tomato plants on the other side of the yard, maybe like a sunflower, more pumpkins. But what I really want to do is get something really exotic, like a tree, where when she leaves, when she plants like an apple tree, what I want to do is have the fresh dirt, so then I replace it with a tree that's like a year ahead. And then she comes back, she's like, what the fuck is going on with this tree? How is it growing so fast? I'm like, I don't know. You're a crazy gardener, man. Like, so she's
That
always
gets more expensive year over year when you keep replacing it with a bigger fucking tree.
I think for the first year, I'll just have to replace it like 4 solid times. Where she comes back, it's like maybe we'll call it 3 or 4 inches, but she comes back to like a 4-foot tree. I'm like, I don't know. Did you put Miracle Grow or something on it? I'll just pretend like I don't exactly know what's going on. But
It's a lemon tree.
I've been really practicing my trolling specifically around her for years, which, you know, I used to sing this song. It was like it wasn't a real song. It was like, ting tong bing bong bing. Right now, it's like fucking sing this song around the house just to get her to say no and to see where her breaking point was going to be.
You would do it. Now, where
And
would
she
you
was
do this?
Everywhere. Doesn't matter. Like around the house, doesn't matter. Like I would just do it.
At the store?
But then the goal was to get my kids to be echoing the same lingo that drove her fucking nuts. So then I would be going through the house singing this. The kids would be going through saying this. And then finally she broke. She's like, stop. Like she's like breaking down, yelling. I'm like, perfect. Got her. These are just kind of a laundry list of different things.
I think this is what people refer to when they're talking about reintegration problems.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I could see that.
It's like, you know, taking the same skills that you used and just using them to weaponize your household.
In a fun way. I don't think
It's
fun for me.
psychological warfare, dude.
in a fun way.
I broke her once. Now to go for number 2. We'd walk through the stores. It was the first I picked it up from you. It was like walking through stores. You'd be with your wife, and then it would just be like, "No, I won't sleep with you, honey." What? Well, we can have a threesome later. Like in a just aisle. And his wife's like,
Well, it's like we were at Whole Foods and we're in a very crowded grocery aisle, and I was like, I don't know, I guess I could be open to a 3-way. I just don't understand why you think that it's got to be 3 dudes. 3 dudes and you. I don't think that's a 3-way. I think that's just you having sex with 3 dudes or something, right? And she's like, shut the fuck up. Shut the fuck up. And I'm like,
I'm just saying.
I'm just saying, I don't think that you got to count correctly. And so I'll randomly throw these things out for her. I've done it like multiple times when you're in checkout and the person's just kind of ringing people out, like just mindlessly, like, how was your day, sir? I'm like, you know, instead of saying like great or whatever, I'm like, oh, it's great. You know, like, what are you doing this weekend? I'm like, oh, you know, we're laying down some tarps. We're going to duct tape everything off. We're going to have a big orgy, like 20, 30 people over. Hey, what are you doing? And my wife's just like, shut the fuck up. You know, like,
Don't tell them about the orgy.
Yeah. And they're just, it shakes them out of their reality for 1 second where they're like, I'm busy. I'm just
Yeah, they don't know how to answer that.
I'm super, super busy.
It will be $128.32.
Yeah.
It's like the plane just autopilot off. Like, oh, wait, shit. What?
The reality is shaken. They're like, okay, fuck. I gotta answer this question outside of my fucking manual. Okay, no, I'm not doing that. Yeah.
I think that's the best part of a relationship is trolling and having that fun with it.
You guys don't do that?
Oh, I do all the fucking time.
Oh,
That's
okay,
one of my
yeah.
favorite things.
Yeah.
Just continuous troll and then watching the kiddos now act the same way as I do in public because they like flinging arms, just being stupid. And now they do that first. I'm like, now I'm not the embarrassing one. I just get to mimic my kids. Sav's not going to say, stop playing with the kids. So we'll be walking around Walmart. We're just looking fucking retarded. It's like, oh, that family has autism. 100%.
The whole family.
100%.
He got it from his
She just
dad.
got lumped in.
Yeah.
Is that stolen valor autism?
What's the Netflix show where they all have Down syndrome, but they're down for love?
Love on
or
the spectrum.
Is that what it is?
is there an autistic one? Like,
The love on the spectrum is autism.
Yeah.
that's there's an actual autism one? I knew the Down syndrome
Yeah,
one was.
dude, it is the weirdest show. If you have not, dude,
Is it
Love
not the
on the
same one?
Spectrum.
I don't know.
Is it good?
Bro, it's people that love trains and they don't care about it. Like, hi, I love you. Good to see you. Oh my God. This is my girlfriend. Would you like to go play trains now? Let's go count.
What's your favorite part about her? She
she's-
smells nice.
Yeah,
Trains.
dude, they're so happy. It's like what Matt Rife said. He's like, just the most happy people you'll ever meet. Like everyone's so positive, and then when they meet each other, it is like the parents are like, yeah, we're super supportive because these are adults. They have like Tism
I would hope
Tinder,
so.
Tism Tinder or something.
Seriously?
I don't
That's got to be an app.
Tism
Yeah.
Tinder?
Tism Tinder.
We're making it. I know that.
Dude, we're gonna be raking in tens of dollars.
It's like Bumble.
These people that don't like to socialize are making an app for socializing.
It's like
dating.
Bumble has like the Bumble BFF. Like they've got like different breakdown bits or whatever. You just have one that's specifically for people on the spectrum.
Just hit that.
It's all men.
Oh,
It's all men.
It's come.
It's all men.
it's all
it's
come.
come.
And man,
Did you know that the sheath was created in the Iron Age, but the underwear itself was created in the 21st century?
Underwear. Just feel it on your skin. It's so soft.
don't steal my underwear. Let's take a second to thank our favorite sponsor today, Sheath Underwear, with dual pouch technology. Sheath makes the most comfortable boxer briefs I've ever worn.
So soft.
Did I ever tell you about the time I was in Brazil?
No.
Yeah, I had to make my own underwear out of bamboo.
Like Sheath Underwear's bamboo brand
Wait,
underwear?
that's made out of bamboo?
The softest.
I'm wearing a pair of Sheath underwear as we speak. In fact, every time you see me speak, I'm always wearing Sheath underwear. It's the most comfortable boxer briefs you will ever put on that body.
It's too soft.
Their stretchy fabric is made out of moisture wicking technology.
Moist.
They're super soft and keep everything cool, comfortable, and right in place.
We have bamboo pairs that are perfect for all weather conditions.
One pouch for the twigs, one pouch for the berry.
Twigs?
Wait a second.
Check out the brand new super fast website, sheathunderwear.com, and use code unsubscribe to save 20%. So when you started your trolling, when did that happen? Well, I'm assuming military is when you fully went in, but at like what time? I've known some of your stories, and we're gonna talk about some of them because they're.
I did this really, really, really early because these are the things that they entertain me specifically, and I think it really accelerated going through special forces. Oh, it sounds like
Thank you for your
service. Yeah,
Did you thank
big
him, Brandon?
knife?
Oh,
lots
yeah,
of
sorry.
Thank you, sir.
For
Yeah.
your service, sir.
So you go through this.
As a Green Beret.
As a Green Beret.
Just to throw it out there, Jake Watson's on the couch over there. He didn't thank Evan for his service.
Yeah, thanks, Jake.
Thanks, Jake.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I guess you
Jake.
hate America. No big deal.
Shit lawyer. Jake's gonna be like, I wasn't there.
Yes, you were.
No, that's not what the internet thinks.
I had this dude, and he's still one of my best friends today. He's a retired command sergeant major, and he really, I think, accelerated my level of fucking humor because he'd shown me that you could be a complete and utter jackass and still be 100% competent. You had to have two sides to the coin where you're like, oh, I can be a fucking lunatic. At the same time, I can also be in charge. You can be competent, you can lead men, you can do all those things, but you also have to have this other side, which is really fucking fun and weird. And it makes everything a little bit better, especially when you're just in a suck fest and you have one guy that's just kind of a crazy idiot.
Your
It
friend
makes
is-
everything fun. He was,
Give him a shout out or
yeah, I wish I could, but he's still like doing all kinds of
never
weird
mind.
shit.
Can't
But
do
he's
that.
he's like his retirement speech was one of the single funniest things I've ever seen in my life. He was a stand-up routine. He did a stand-up routine for his fucking retirement speech, and this is around a crowd of people like generals and sergeant majors, and they're all laughing hysterically. And he and I really hit it off early on, but then, making a long story even longer and somewhat even boring, but it started where I started fucking with guys because they're really serious. Everybody's so serious all the fucking time, and especially when you're in the military, they're like stoic and they're not trying to laugh and they're not having any fun until you kind of break some ice and you get through to the people that you really kind of connect with. Well, I would be out doing land nav early on, trying to do these like selections. You're like running through the woods and for time and trying to get to your point. Well, I was fairly decent at it, and I would come up to these points first. So then I would literally just get naked at the end of the point. And guys would be running into the point of like, hey man, have you seen an Appaloosa? It's somewhere around here. It's got a big red handprint on it. And so they're running through the woods seeing this fucking naked dude asking if he'd seen a horse. And they're like, what the fuck is going on? Yeah. It's like one of the single funniest things you can do, actually, because you got a guy that's trying to fucking finish for time. And they are so serious because this is the rest of their career. You're good. You got your point. Now you can fuck with them, right? Hey, man, you fucking dicks wagging around like, hey, you seen my Appaloosa? And I don't know of too many other funny things, but that's pretty fucking funny.
This is during selection.
Yeah.
This is the hardest moments of these dudes' lives. And they're like, I'm almost there. Just don't give up. 1 foot in front of the. Why is there a naked man in front of me?
Yeah.
Have you seen my Appaloosa? Because I can tell.
And now it's also the hardest moment of their life.
Yes.
And now they're starting to question their reality and their sanity and all kinds of weird things.
They haven't
right?
slept in a couple
Yeah,
days.
they haven't
Just like,
slept.
Wait.
And
I would question
They're looking
the
at
fuck
their
out of it.
canteen kind of funny. Like,
yeah,
oh,
they're like,
shit.
why is this naked dude in the woods talking
this
about a
is
horse?
Hundreds of acres of woods. This is not
Thousands,
like
yeah.
this isn't like they're off the side of the road. This is like you're thousands of acres of woods, and you just magically stumbled upon one naked white dude in the middle of the woods.
In like combat boots. I just like stash my shit behind a tree and be like, hey man, you see my horse? No, sir. And they're not supposed to talk to anybody either, right? You're not supposed to talk to other candidates. You're not supposed to do anything, but it's hard not to. I'm just saying, it's kind of hard not to. And then it went.
It's
further.
hard not to talk to naked men. Evan Hafer, 2023.
Yeah, 2023. It's hard not to. When you're running through the woods, you're like, what the fuck is this dude talking about? When I went through SEER school, you have this small group of guys, and you're out trying to survive or whatever. You haven't eaten for several days. You're not sleeping. You're just trying to like go through this survival lane. And I went out one day like with one of my buddies, and we were trying to get some food, and we found this huge blackberry patch. Well, everybody hadn't eaten for 2 days. So I was filling my pockets with canteen cups and everything with blackberries, and everybody's beyond fucking hungry. Oh, yeah. And I stopped my buddy right before we get back into the camp. I'm like, well, yo, stop. Like, let me go in first. Don't say anything. He's like, okay. And everybody's real serious. This is a serious thing, right? So I take a couple blackberries out of my pocket and I smash them up against my face like I'd been stuffing them in my mouth. And I come in, everybody's around the campfire. I was like, fucking dry out there, guys. We didn't find anything. There's no food. I haven't found it. They're like, yeah, blackberries all over your face. And they're like yelling at me.
No one slept. Everyone's super hungry and pissed.
Yeah.
You're like, hold on.
Let me do a joke real fast, because this is the time that everybody's gonna really want to laugh about starving and me eating all the food. And we're in the prison camp. So you get back into the prison camp, you're all wearing like, scrubs basically. So you're like OR scrubs, and you got your boots and you're shuffling around in the gravel. And I'd always like go up and start talking to guys, and they're like super freaked out because you're not supposed to be talking to anybody. I'm like, yo, have you guys hit that sauna? Have you guys gotten in the cold plunge or whatever? Because it's like they're dunking you in
Oh God.
in no shit cold water, and I'm talking about them like it's a Club Med. I'm like, this place is awesome, man. Like this, and they're just like, get the fuck away from me, dude. You're gonna get me in trouble. You're gonna get me beat. You're gonna get me slapped. And I'm like, but seriously, this place is pretty rad, right? Like, think about it. And they're just like, get the fuck away from me, please. And
You'd be my least favorite person in the world.
oh,
during that.
I rise. I rise to the occasion. When things are so bad, I'm at my funniest. Like when they're just like the fucking worst things you can imagine, I'm like, no, time for a joke.
Funny for
Time for some
yourself.
fun
No one
times.
else is laughing. This is one of those like Evan's like, everyone else is just getting smoked.
They're just getting fucking wrecked, and I'm like, man, this is fun. I ripped my pants out during the invasion of Iraq. I had this like huge hole in my groin, and I only had one pair of pants. So my team leader that was next to me, I would draw a new picture, a new face on my balls every day, and then we would decide what type of a day it was going to be, whether or not I had a frowny face or a smiley face.
They called that the Baghdad groundhog.
The Baghdad ground.
Evan's balls come out of his pants,
Hey,
and
what-
whether you see it shadow or not. more days of deployment.
8 more days of deployment, boys.
We used to mow your dad's yard naked, wouldn't you, just to fuck with him?
Oh, yeah. My dad's like,
He would get home. Like, imagine you drive home and then your son is doing this.
my trolls against my dad have been some of the most iconic things I've done. Like,
Most of them involve nudity so far.
well, yeah, because nudity's shocking for people. Like a frontal male nudity is shocking. Like they're like, whoa.
Ask anyone on the
Jeez.
playground.
Hence why I can't fly Delta anymore. Can't take a joke. This
Motherfucker's not real.
Evan's just standing there like,
He's just like spread eagle over the fucking first class, like, hey, sup?
He would. My dad's like this hardcore. He's very hardcore. John Bircher
Outdoorsy.
conservative. Like he's super great guy. He's awesome. He's like one of my best friends. But he's also very serious. He's had to learn how to cope with me over the years. And I would come home from like training or something like that, and I would just be mowing the lawn, just buck naked. And that's how he would come home. He'd be like, "Oh, you're home. Okay, here we
Well,
go."
what he's not telling you is that he lived in a gated community.
Yeah.
Lots of neighbors, lots of,
yeah, neighbors do.
No.
See,
I mean,
that's
not
what-
really. Yeah.
I was hoping it was like a cul-de-sac, and you are the cul-de-sac, and
Dude,
you're just out there.
I was picturing like a school bus drop off at 3.
No, he lived up on this hill. I was driving up the hill to go see him one day, and there's this big bull snake stretched out across the road, and I was like, "Fuck yeah!" I was going up to see him, and I had a snow shovel, like a little snow shovel in the back of the Jeep, and I like herded this. There's probably a 5-foot bull snake into an igloo cooler, and I go up to him, and he's painting his shop, and I take out this cooler, and I was like, "Hey, buddy, got you a sandwich. Stopped off at the at the deli and got you a sandwich." And he like climbs down off of his ladder. It's like, "You know what? You're all right. I take back 63% of everything negative I've said about you." And I'm like, "Wait, hold on, hold on for the ride." He opens it up, and he fucking blows up. He's like, "Oh!" And I was like, "You okay? You gonna have a droopy left side? What's going on, buddy?" You know? And he's like, "You son of a bitch. I can't believe you did that. I thought you were really getting me a sandwich." "Well, did you get me a sandwich?" I was like, "No, I got myself one. I already ate it on the way up here. I got you a snake. That's what I got you." But I did actually get him a sandwich.
It costs more than the sandwich. You should be thankful.
Yeah. You should be real thankful.
for it. Just getting
If
fucked
this
with.
were a gift in India, we'd be betrothed.
Dad, we're getting married now. You're
Father-
mine.
You're mine.
I'm cultured now, Father.
We're going to have a good time. Now, you did one story is I told them briefly about it, but it was when you picked up, was it Command Sergeant Major and like General
Oh God,
Delta?
dude, I
Oh,
totally
God,
forget
yeah.
about this.
This is one of my favorite. This is like the Command Sergeant Major of
yeah,
Delta
yeah.
and the
The-
Colonel or
yeah. So
one
this
star?
was these were Squadron Commander Sergeant Major, and I forget what squadron it was, but so we are out in Kirkuk Regional Air Force or Air Base. Crab is what they called it up in northern Iraq, and there was at the time the CIA and Delta, we were both sharing kind of this similar compound out there, and I went out there, and it was super funny because our Delta Force liaison was like, "Hey man, can you run out and grab?" He was doing something. I think he might have been watching ISR feed or something. I was like, "Yeah man, no problem. I'll run out there and grab those guys. That's super easy." And so we had a Hilux. Well, I had been digging around in this shipping container. I was cleaning out and doing inventory. Well, I came across, for the life of me, I couldn't figure this out. We had water skis and a life jacket and a bunch of shit in this thing. So I was like, "Oh, okay. There we go." So as soon as he was like, "Hey,"
reiterate, the liaison of Delta was like, hey, we got these VIPs coming in. Evan's like,
I'm still stuck on a life jacket and skis in northern Iraq.
yeah. Like I didn't know either. I was like, "What the fuck is going on?" So light bulb moment comes on. So I throw the water skis in back. I zip up this life jacket. Well, I'd gone to the sew shop on base maybe 2 or 3 weeks before, and I made these gay meters. And it was like a rainbow meter that was pegged out, and it just said "gay meter." And I would put it on everybody's kit. So they'd be wearing it around like their unit patch, like a skull and like a Punisher patch. And then they look down, and there's this freaking rainbow gay meter. And I was like, so I put this thing on my life jacket. So I put my face, because we cruise around with these like hot, they were like disguise kits with like sunglasses and mustaches because we want to look like Iraqis. I put this fake mustache
Put
on.
the fake, the fake mustache.
We didn't want to look like the Asian people.
Come on. And I had blown out a pair of jeans like 3 weeks before, which is a totally separate thing. I had these like fucking jeans. They had a big rip in them, so I just cut them off and made Davy Dukes out of them. So I had a high cut jean shorts with a fucking life preserver, a fake mustache, mirrored sunglasses, water skis in the back of the Hilux with a gay meter attached to my life jacket. And I drive out to the airfield, and the dudes are coming out of the plane, and they're looking at me like, what for the love of God did they send? I was like, hey man, I'm sent out here to pick you guys up. And they were both looking at me as if I quite literally had a dick growing out of my head. But then as they got closer, they looked at the meter and they're like, what's that saying? Or are you gay? And I was like, no, it's taking a reading off both you guys. It's spiking out. Might be those salmon colored shirts. So I get them in the truck. I drive them back over. I'm like, you guys gonna hit the fucking lake a little later? We're gonna be out in the speedboat ripping around, you know. We're gonna have a good time. And they're like, is there a lake out here? And I was like, no. Do you Delta Force guys not do fucking map recon? Like, what the fuck? You canceled them. So then I get them back, and I take them to this like little shed that I'd thrown 2 cots into, and it was riddled with bullet holes, and it just was an open air facility. I was like, this is where you guys are living. This is a hooch, setting you guys up really nice. We're over here in the AC units, but that's kind of what we got right now. And they're like, holy shit, this sucks. I was like, nah, I'm just fucking with you. Get in the truck, let's go. But for some reason, they didn't want to do anything with me after that. They didn't want to do any joint ops. I don't know. But then they had to. So I went to the next briefing wearing the life jacket in uniform, and they actually got a pretty good laugh out of it. But they were like, what in the fuck is going on with this dude? He's like completely lost his mind, which isn't like outside of the definition of where I was. Like, I was like, whatever, who cares? Like,
You're going into war. Like, think about that. You're landing. You're like, okay, let's see. And then you pull up wearing a gay meter. Yeah. This guy doesn't take war serious at all.
I didn't. I was wearing a fucking white hang loose hat that with a pink hand on it during the invasion of Iraq. I had a 40 millimeter grenade launcher and like 6 grenades and a hang loose hat. And then the
Summer of 06.
Right on, man.
Yeah, they're like, we get to see our Delta boys again. Evan pulls up. Hey!
It's just people take it too serious. You got to like turn the volume down on that seriousness and have just a little bit of fun, tad bit of fun.
Just a tad bit of fun in war.
They're just so fucking serious.
Sprinkle some fun on that war.
Some seasoning.
This might be your last day here. You got to at least have a couple laughs, right?
You would go out as a fucking legend with that.
Oh,
Like,
man.
I missed it when he pulled up in that gay suit and that meter thing, and I hated him at that moment. I found him funny later, and it is a shame he died.
That guy was super funny. I hated him, and honestly, I wanted that to happen.
I am glad that idea exploded. It may be spooky season, but you don't want to scare people with your scraggly beard.
Today, we are brought to you by MANSCAPED.com, who has taken a step from the ball of wieners to bring your face the cleanest shave it has ever seen, brother. So this season, there's no toil or trouble. It's just Manscaped. Manscaped's all-new Handyman is the best way to get rid of that stubble. Featuring compact design and skin-safe technology. It was designed to give you a smooth finish without traditional technology disadvantages. Get the sweetest treat this season by going to manscaped.com and using code UNSUB to save 20% and free shipping. And for my Wolfman out there, there's the Manscaped Beard Hedger Pro Kit. It has everything to tame your mane. Ding! That's 20% off and free shipping at manscaped.com using code UNSUB. For a look sweet as candy, get yourself a handyman from manscaped.com.
That's exactly probably they're like, what the fuck?
People aren't doing 22 push-ups
That's
because
not
of
even
you.
that's not even my best one. I've had like even better ones. Like I've had some really, really, really fucking incredible like moments where I've just been able to like really, really sell some shit.
Please share with the class.
Yeah, please. I'm interested.
Are we
in
bored in this? Or
No,
are we,
just
No, these
real
are-
quick.
So-
Heather said she can't be comfortable around you because of how much you've trolled her in the past.
I take that as a compliment.
You-
Source of
like,
pride.
The people out there, it is such a different, because people also, when people would come up at BRCC and they're like, how do you just talk to Evan like that? I'm like, what? They are so deathly afraid of you. It is, I was like, if you want to win him over, troll him back.
Yeah.
No, he'll fire me. I'm like, no, he won't. He'll probably laugh. You just have fun back.
I mean, he might fire you.
yeah, he might. He'll probably fire you, actually.
Yeah, probably.
And that will be a joke amongst itself.
Yes. Yes. 100%.
But he'll laugh about it.
There's some people in the company.
He's laughing.
I know. There's some people in the company I've told them multiple times, like, hey, oh, you're still here? Huh. I'm going to stop by HR. It's like a, like I'll come back after a few days and like, oh, you haven't packed up your office yet, huh? Okay. I'll cruise by Jacob and take care of that. You know, he's the HR guy. And they're like, what the fuck? It takes a certain amount of rapport to like be able to sell that joke. I can't do that after somebody's only been there for a week, but it's definitely something that is super funny if it's a joke.
A lot of people don't
Yeah.
feel that one.
And if it's not a joke, it's funnier.
Yeah.
You've done that. I've heard about that too.
Yeah. Well, yeah, I've had a few times where people come in, they sit down. I'm like, today's your last day. They're like, not joking. Yeah. Hey, not joking.
You're always the boy that cried wolf, but you're the wolf.
Yeah.
They're literally
no, you're
like
just
turning
joking.
in their fucking key card with their office in their hand, like, oh, Evan.
Oh, that funny guy.
He's gonna run out any moment now and stop me before I get in my car.
no.
Any moment.
He's gonna call me on this drive home.
3 weeks. He'll call me anytime.
6
Nope.
months later, that was a joke.
That was a joke.
We're back
God, I
paying you.
wish.
Why would you do that?
God, I wish.
I'm in
I think
financial ruin.
most of that stuff was easier when I mean, we you can't do that now because that's considered, you know, workplace harassment or something. I don't know, like some
Gay.
fancy term that, you know, lawyers come up with. But early on, like it was, I mean, you guys can imagine because it was like me, Matt, Jared, and like 2 other guys. It was like a former MMA fighter and, you know, a few other guys, like my other buddy, Edwin Parnell, who's another SF guy. So it's just like a team room, just a full blown team room. And it was fucking wild.
That was a
It was
small
wild.
office.
Yeah.
That was
You
my
remember
tiny-
that, right?
yeah.
The Ironwood office where we had a couple different offices before we moved into the place in Salt Lake. And like Clint Romache came down. We filmed a video. You remember that?
That was the OG
Yeah,
one. Yeah.
OG. We filmed a bunch of skits there. And you remember that Glock skit that we filmed that we never...
Oh my God.
It was so crazy. We were like, we never put
we
this
pulled
out.
that one. We were like,
Oh, okay,
man.
so OG Black Rifle.
Yeah,
wouldn't
yeah,
post it.
yeah.
Oh, this one? Oh,
Oh,
my God.
no.
I don't even know if they...
OG
Holy
Black Rifle couldn't post it because it was so crazy. We were like, this can't
Does it still exist?
somewhere. Yeah,
Oh,
it's
yeah.
fucking funny because it's a
Post
gun.
it now.
It's a gun waiting in line to go to the movies, and it's a Glock, and he's in the line with this white chick, and he's talking about.
What were they talking about? Because like
No,
someone's
it-
like, oh, like
Yeah.
someone jumped.
Oh, it's because I'm a Glock. It's because I'm a Glock, is it? You know?
Yeah, it's a Glock in my
Dude.
It's walk. It shoots or the girlfriend step. It's like, don't you say it? Or God, that bad actress. I remember
Yeah,
her.
she's so bad. She's so bad.
Fuck, I can't remember the comedy beat
Oh
for
my
it because
God.
it was a treating the Glock as like a minority that's just getting belittled.
Dude, it was. We watched it and we're like, whoa.
It shot somebody at the end.
Yeah,
of us.
because at the end it NDs and blows somebody's head off.
We're like, oh, we can't show this. It was like the
Again.
girlfriend, and the Glock's and it runs off because we did a green screen stick, so
Yeah.
it was in scene like talking and moving. With
Dude, it was
individuals.
epic. Yeah, it was really, really funny. Yeah, that when we did Conservative Comes Out, the original concept that we had was, which you guys remember that video because it's like one of my favorites. But the original one was, it was you come out to your parents as an ATF agent. And so a guy pulls in, and it's a whole other. It's the same.
Now I see why
setup.
there was a punting dog joke.
Yeah. It's like, Dad, I have something to tell you. Like, and then the reveal is like, I'm an ATF agent and I also drive electric cars. And it's just like kind of like it devolves into this, and it was super funny because like the dad starts smashing all the family photos in the fucking house, and it's like, just tear this flag out of my house. I guess it doesn't fucking matter, does it? And he's like losing his shit. And then he like rips open the curtains, and it's just it's a post-nuclear apocalypse. Like everything is fucking blowing up. And then it shifted into, oh, this is actually more funny if we did it this way.
That one turned out so good. Those old skits we used to go, man. I forgot about a lot of those. That was a good era. That was when Facebook was crushing on views too. That was
Yeah.
an average upload of, I think it was like 18 million views was our average.
It's also when the algorithms
Average.
weren't trying to go for ad revenue.
Yeah.
So like you could do 2 to 3
Yeah.
minute skit comedy, and that would do really well.
Well, and you could do things that were, you didn't really worry about turning the switches off, right?
Yeah.
It's like now it is the way you have to communicate to people that your customers. So it's like, oh man, if they turn the switches off, like what the fuck are we gonna do? Like,
Or you could be like us and not care.
Yeah.
yeah,
That works
Cody's
really well
like,
for us.
Yeah, every day. It's like fucking guns held to my head, dude. Like,
No stress at all.
no stress at all.
none whatsoever.
Just the gun right here. Like,
It's like, while you think about that, like, while I make this joke, am I going to have a career tomorrow?
Yeah.
Fuck it.
Yeah.
Dude, Cody's videos are like, it's just blurred out quacking now.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, you
Can
can't
you
even
watch his police
Yeah,
videos?
yeah.
Yeah,
you can't-
I
I
blur,
wonder sometimes how much that helps.
I don't know, man. I blur everything. I don't put gunshots in. It's quacking, and they still age restrict my videos sometimes. Like, even though it's blurred, you could tell that was the moment of death. It's like, it was fucking blurred. What do you mean you could see the moment of death?
I will say the quacking has, like, it pissed me off when you first started doing it, but now it's, like, so endearing.
Oh, I love it now. It's
Yeah.
they call it like the quacks of justice. I need to make a shirt that says the quacks of justice.
that would be a good
yeah.
one.
That's a
Especially,
really,
what if you did this shirt with the duck on it?
Oh shit! Can't
I like-
expect God to do all the work.
Quack.
a rubber duck, but it's like quacking, but it goes bang. So it's like a
Quack bang?
quack bang.
Quack bang out.
quack bang out.
Electrician.
Yeah.
I can collab
that.
with Nick on that.
Yeah.
That's a good shirt.
Well, it really sucks that Nick couldn't be here because of the accident.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Anyway.
I mean, he's healing though. It's
Is he?
just
Maybe.
kind of.
From the picture I saw.
Yeah.
What happened?
Any cool gear from raiding the palaces? My favorite stories and seeing those pictures of like some of the dope shit people got
The
home
golden Dragonovs and shit.
Oh, I have pictures of on my phone from those. I had all kinds of really interesting experiences. You know, I was in Baghdad when we first got into Baghdad. It's like one of my favorite stories. Is like I come into this fifth group had a compound in what became the like right down where is this mine or yours or whose is it? I think that was me. I think it was my headphones. So we there's
It's
a
a ghost in the podcast now.
yeah, no shit.
It came from over there. That's why
my
I was super
headphones over
confused.
there.
I was like,
So we get into Baghdad, and it became the where the I think it's a coalition that where we essentially massed in downtown Baghdad, right across from 4th of July Bridge, and we had a 5th group compound there, and that one of the guys they had one full fucking room full of like carpets, just nothing but carpets they'd taken out of all the different palaces, and they'd like stuffed them into this one giant warehouse, and it was just nothing but these like silk rugs everywhere. And like one of the guys is like sitting there smoking a cigarette, and he had his hand around you like this around this golden bust. It was like solid gold bust of Saddam. And he's like smoking a cigarette. He's like, look at this golden bust, man. It's pretty sick. Anyway, I drove a Formula One car yesterday. That was sick as fuck. And you're like, what? He's like, yeah, it's right over there. You want to drive it? I was like, it's really hard to drive. I was grinding the gears. It's like Uday and Kusei had like Formula One cars and Ferraris and all this shit. And so everybody was like, it was on a cannonball run. Like we were fucking rolling into Baghdad, and we were racing to try to get to Baghdad. And we were hitting palace after palace after palace. And we were just like, fucking, what are we going to find? Like trying to find, like blow the fucking hinges off of safes and find any and everything that we could fucking pull out of there. So I've got this Lonely Planet guide. This is no shit. I have a Lonely Planet guide for Iraq, and I'm like, "There's a palace on the Euphrates. Let's go!"
It's like the LA map of
bro,
celebrities.
it was because our maps were shit.
Except it's the Bible.
And we're like, we're going to Babylon. There's a palace there, because we were just looking for all the different palaces. We had like rough estimates as to some of where they were and some grid coordinates.
2,000 years ago, Jesus is born in a manger. 2,000 years later, you're driving an F1 car over the site of where this was.
And we step into this palace, the first one that we hit, and there's just people falling out of this. Like as soon as because we had to drive up this windy road to the top of this palace that overlooked the Euphrates, and you're going up to this palace, and you're like, holy shit, dude. Like we hit the fucking mother load. Like we are going in, and we're going to have like, we're going to load up our trailers full of gold and all kinds of crazy shit. But all these people are just fleeing out of this thing. They're all carrying like giant vases and carpets and everything. And it was crazy because it was complete chaos. And so we get into the house or the palace, and we clear it. So we go through and we clear the entire thing. And by the way, you're also like trying to find shit, because you're like, this is fun. What the fuck are we going to pull off this target? And there was literally nothing in it other than like a few rugs and some other bullshit in it. But we were like, what's underneath it? There has to be like,
What's
safe
hidden?
vaults, what's hidden in here. But it was wild, man. When you got out onto the deck and it overlooked the Euphrates, right above the right above Babylon, where the recreated ruins of Babylon were in this palace. And then once we cleared it, we went back through and tried to like pull any and all things that we could. So you didn't find anything. Like it had just been like completely ripped by, all the looters before that. But we did that multiple times trying to find shit. And some guys, they got really lucky because they were hitting stuff. And one of my buddies was telling me they were like broco torching this fucking safe out. And they're thinking like, oh my God, man, they open it up and there's like a Nike shoe in the middle of the floor. But it was wild, man. Like I'm telling you, Ferraris and Formula One cars and like any and everything you can think of, from like Uday and Kusei and it's just the Husseins in general, they had consolidated all the wealth. When we went to the airport, which was the Royal Palace complex in the airport, which is Saddam International Airport, we were one of the first ODAs there. I actually cleared what was called the Saddam International Airport.
Imagine
before it turned
flying
into
from Reagan International Airport to Saddam International Airport.
Yeah. Now, Cheney did that a few times, I think.
Give me that. he kept that ticket.
We had fucking done
In the
that.
business, we call this foreshadowing.
and he had like tigers and zebras. Like the Sons had basically a mini zoo, but we also knew like they were throwing fucking bodies and shit to the lions. Yeah.
Yeah.
And then we were at one of the palaces, and there's this big pond, and it was beautiful. I mean, this place is like a palatial, no shit, like palaces. This isn't drug lord money. This is like Middle
this is
Eastern oil money. This is $1 trillion. So to put it into perspective, what it can buy you is a lot of shit. And we're like, oh, hey, let's have fresh fish. And we're building like C4 fucking bombs to throw in the pond so we could blow up the carp and get them to the surface so we could fucking have like carp dinner and things like that.
It's like DOD funded fucking Louisiana.
Bro,
fishing.
I'm telling you, the like
Toss a stick of dynamite in that river. Let's see what we get, boys.
Get it.
the single greatest amount of fun that I've had in my life.
Do you ever fish now and just have just thoughts back? You're like, nah.
No.
It'd be easier with C4 at Saddam's place.
I wish. Yeah.
Just clacking. I just want to clack.
When you're like racing your way into a capital after popping the top off a country, it's fucking wild, man.
That was the most Evan Hafer fucking sentence I could have imagined.
Evan Hafer. When you're Russian.
Let's not take into consideration any of the ethics or any of the things involved. But when you see the American fucking war machine,
Never
and you're,
mind, that was the most.
Let's just delete some of this and then just consider like, dude, an invasion is the fucking most impressive act of like military power you can participate in. That is like so impressive. It also terrifies you because if you're on the side, the winning side, which obviously we were, but when you see the full might of the American military force, it is fucking like it is like seeing the power of God. That it is truly witnessing it. When you see MLRS and tanks and everything working together as you're all coordinating your effort rolling fucking north, I mean, not you, but you can squash the third largest military in the world in a matter of fucking days. And it's wild. And it was truly like the Wild West.
Who wants better sex and to start having better sex right now? That's the best way to get started. Are you Canadian? I am for this ad read. That's right. The best way to get started is go to adamandeve.com right now. Adam and Eve is offering 50% off from any item, plus free shipping, which includes rush processing, like these. Also, it doesn't matter how much you spend or what you buy. Everything will be packaged discreetly, and you'll get that order fast. Don't wait. Better sex is just a click away. Go to adamandeve.com and use code UNSUB to save 50% off and get rush processing.
The other day we were at JT's and Evan's like, so when are you going to do that long game? I was like, what? He's like, do a long troll on Heather.
Yeah.
Like, oh God, I haven't thought about it yet.
There's so many options.
I know.
What would be the
The
long
good
goal?
thing about the long game is you can plan and you're not under a time restraint. It's not based on the incident or something, right? You don't have to take advantage of the time. You can say the time that I have is like a year. So then you can play this really long game to where you can just lay the seeds as time unfolds, but you're not like setting your calendar. You're just kind of like, I want to make sure that I'm going to cast a layer of doubt to maybe drive this person insane over the course of 18 to 24 months, right? That's kind of nice. It's a gift that keeps on giving.
Yeah, it's called baggage. She's gonna bring that into the next relationship. Really hurt that.
I think
It's like, that's the point.
the thing that
Ruin it
would
forever for everyone.
the thing that would bother me more than anything is if I tried that with a girl and then, like, let's say 12 months into a 24-month plan, we break up.
Right.
That would haunt me forever. I have unfinished business on the earth.
Well, that's why you would stay with her till the end, and then when it's
No matter what.
no matter what, ride or die, you got to finish it.
It's okay you suck that guy's dick.
You're my ride or die. I need you for 12 more months.
It turns into
I need you for 12 more
it turns
months.
into the
ride or
accountant
die.
like, oh, I gotta finish. I have to finish.
I'm not done.
I'm not done. I'm not done.
Why are you still with me? It's like, you'll find out later.
Yeah.
I'm working on something.
Say it like that. I'm working on something. Just so happy about it. So what are your big trolls? What is your most glorious troll in your active duty or CIA crazy person?
Man, that's a good one. I think I had Tony Cowden. You guys maybe know him or not. He's an SF guy. I worked with him out in Mosul. He was on the podcast. He was there when I lost this bet, and I had to donate, and I had to wear an Obama shirt in DC when we went bar hopping when we got back. God. So there, I have a picture of like me and my buddy sitting there, and he's laughing at me. He took the photo at me because they were fucking laughing at me, and they thought it was hilarious. By the way, it was hilarious. I don't fucking care what people think because it was hilarious. And then I'm like, all right, well, I have to offset the donation. I better donate to the other side. But I was like, that's a lot of money. Maybe I'll just like donate 400. So if I would have just like been thinking ahead, been like, oh, well, maybe 500, cancel it out because in fucking 12 years, this might be an issue. No, I guess I wasn't thinking that far ahead. But in Mosul, I had this shirt and I had the whole outfit, but then I added a drop leg holster to it. So I had a drop leg holster. I had 2 radios. So I had like 2 radios, drop leg holster. I had some grenades, a helmet. So I'd wear this helmet. I had all this shit. I had a can of Copenhagen like rolled into the sleeve. And there's a new guy showing up. He's a former SF guy. He'd just gone through CAG selection and done a bunch of other stuff. And he's flying in. It's the only guy coming off the plane. I pull up to the tarmac and I sit there because I'm like, I can't wait for this fucking guy to get off this plane and see this glorious bastard standing here. The plane is taxiing and the pilot is pulling in towards me. And as he turns the plane, he moves his head and he's like, his mouth falls open. That's how fucking stupid I looked. It was amazing. The pilot's like, what the fuck? And so Marshall was his name. He walks up. He's like, oh, you my ride? I'm like, I'm your ride. And then I start talking to him. I'm like, so are you like a Navy SEAL or something? Or what do you guys do? Because those SEALs are hot. They're like super hot. Their abs are hot. And he's like, no, I'm a Green Beret. I'm like, oh, cool. Are they like SEALs or what do they do? You know? And I'm like, but you got to wear your helmet, safety first. So I give him this helmet and I give him iPro. So he's putting on fucking helmet and iPro. And I tell him, I tell him that I'm the chief of the base. So I tell him I'm in charge of this whole thing. So he doesn't know. He's never worked for the agency before in his life. He has no fucking clue who I am other than like this dude shows up with a drop leg holster, 2 radios, a hand grenade, and a Hillary for President shirt with a life jacket and a helmet and an iPro on and talking in a crazy list. I'm like, so you like a Navy SEAL? I mean, I see those guys and I'm putting those, and I'm talking, I'm like, everybody's always out in the yard working out. Like I run these workouts every day, you know, for 2 hours. Most of the time I'm not working out. I'm just like writing down numbers, making sure guys' form is good. That's the way I'm talking to him. And he's like, what the fuck is going on? And I continue to have, I mean, we're on the base. He has to wear his helmet. So I keep fucking telling him he has to keep his helmet on everywhere we go. I take him to the base. I give him a tour. And everybody else on base knows what's going on too. So they're read in on this whole thing. They're like, hey, did you meet Chief? Oh, he's an interesting guy, right? He's going to want to talk to you a lot.
Alone.
So I go through the whole thing. He's wearing his fucking helmet the entire time with iPro, by the way, on base. And I'm talking to him about all this fucking crazy shit.
Which if you don't know this, when you're like... Head Pro helmet, it is the last thing you want to wear.
The last thing.
Period. Overseas, especially when you're inside the wire. You're like, oh my fucking God, I hate this guy even more that I have to wear these 2 pieces of equipment. This is fucking miserable.
Miserable. And it was just some stupid, I mean, sometimes you would go to different bases, they have these rules, and you'd hate bureaucrats and making rules. So I'd like go through this entire thing. I walk him through the entire base. Bring him back to the team room. And I was like, hey, man, you really think that I'm the fucking chief of base? He turns to me and he's just like, what? He does not compute. I'm like, I'm just fucking with you. Like, there's no fucking way I'm the chief of base. One, I'm like 30 years old. Two, like, what in the fuck? You really? He's like, I don't know. Well, I don't fucking know. And he got so mad. He like throws his fucking gear in the locker, doesn't talk to me for 2 weeks. And we're on the same team. He won't even fucking talk to me. Won't talk to me. Won't look at me. It's just like, fuck that guy. Fuck that guy. So it took me like 2 weeks. And then finally I was like, are you still mad about that? He's like, I'm never going to be not mad about that. So serious.
Got you, bro.
Yeah, got you.
Fucking
I
nerd.
fucking nailed that dude. Like, pinned. So that was good because it was like multiple hours. It was a solid 3-hour play where I really, really had to sell some shit. And it was fucking, it was hilarious because he got so mad.
Well, a lot of those times when you're in those situations, is I've told the story before. It's like yelling at the general. We had General Boozer, who was like a 1 or 2 star, and I would just yell at him. Like the first time he got in the striker with me, he got up in the hatch. I was like, you're fucking old. What the fuck? And he was like, what? He was like, what? I was like, hi. What was it like fighting with Abraham Lincoln, sir? And after that, homeboy would not say a goddamn thing to me. He gave me a coin. When he was walking, he had no head cap. He was walking. We were on a cob. He was walking to the chow hall. And I'm like walking through, and I see him walking without his headgear on. I'm like, sir, put your fucking headgear on. And he was like, like he almost went at ease. And he's like, Quavens, do fucking push-ups. What the fuck are you yelling at me for? I'm like, Roger, sir. I just learned that from a young age. I was like, oh, I just fuck with these people. They'll usually not fuck with me back. This is great. Or I'll just have to do 10 push-ups, but they'll laugh at me and do everything else. So I was like, okay, write that note down. Close that, save that for later.
You find out who's cool.
Yeah.
You find out like who your people are that you can communicate with without like a level of seriousness that is just not appropriate for what you're doing. It's like there's a time to be serious. Trust me, I can be as serious as they I mean, there's
We've seen
maybe a couple times where you're like, yeah, I got to be serious. Most 99% of the time, like I try to be a jackass because it's more fun. Like I try. It's like, it's fucking hilarious. It's like, okay, man, we're moving up on a breach. Like, you know, like set explosives. Like I got all the way up until the breach goes off to be fucking funny.
I still got like 10 more seconds.
I still got like
before we
10
clack
more
this
seconds,
bitch off.
man. Like I got to get a couple more jokes in.
That
It's super
that
funny.
C4 dick, man.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah, you get it. Like, oh, look at this. It's a bunny. Set the explosives. Throw it in there. Like, you know, like there's plenty of times you can be a complete and utter idiot and have a lot of fun. Like I mean, and it provides a lot of levity to the situation. I had to go scoop, like when dudes clack off in front of gates, like somebody has to go pick
Clean
it up. And when you have a small base,
Smells like barbecue.
when you have a small base, like
Got
it
that
is
long
what it
pig.
is. Like it's fucking glad bags, and you know, if you're lucky, you get a shovel. But it's like put on your fucking gloves and go, you know,
Find them.
go fucking pick them up.
Those pieces fly far.
They do, yeah, like they do.
Like a lot
Yeah.
of people don't realize that. It was on a roof. We found one on a 4-story roof. One, and like guy clacked off, and we were upstairs looking around. It's like, found it.
Hey,
Like,
found a head. Look at this.
I love how you're just like straight up like the boombox from Say Anything.
Yeah, my buddy, he was like doing something I can't remember. I was like, had this dude's leg, and I was like, this guy's still kicking your ass. And
Jesus, when I like pull back for a second, I'm like, if you've not experienced this, we do sound kind of fucked up.
I don't know. You guys tell me. It is what it is.
We're a
Like,
bad,
it's
we're a
it's
bad
not,
judge of this.
Yeah.
Just gonna say
They're
that
bad
right
witness
off.
me.
Like people think this is like some kind of like, you know, movie, and they get to like shoot everything and do all this really cool stuff, and then they don't have to like clean up the fucking mess. Well, okay, man. There's still a lot of cleanup that has to take place, which fucking sucks. It's like,
I always wanted I just wanted one sector where it was like when you deploy and you just did war, they made the soldiers collect their brass after a fire. Because that was my biggest fear
Get
going
online.
over there. It's like, do we have to pick up brass over there? Because they teach you have to pick up all brass
It's part of the contract. Lake City needs to reload all this shit. So, you know,
Picking up all the ammo.
Yeah,
Crispy just
clean
got
it up.
blown up.
Ceasefire. Like, hold on, guys.
Ceasefire, everybody. Clean up your brass.
Crispy
wouldn't
just
surprise
got
me.
blown up. They're making him clean his fucking
On
brass up.
fire.
Get down here right now.
The faster you get this done, soldier, the faster we get you to the hospital. Burnt hands. Just,
That wouldn't surprise me.
it's just attached to his skin. It's like gum.
yeah, it's like a tape strip.
Just using his arm as a tape strip.
that's-
Crispy, we love you.
Thank you for your service.
Sincerely.
That's
yeah.
awful.
That's
It is.
amazing.
Yeah, it is.
Brandon's now an honorary vet thanks to that
You guys
episode.
fucking suck.
Dude, all the memes
Eli
that people-
decided to make my life very difficult and make me very uncomfortable. So we did
Why?
a Veterans Day episode, and the entire time he's trying to get a frame on camera of him pinning his purple heart to me. And I'm like, no, get that shit the fuck away from me. No. He's like, oh, yeah, so when were you deployed? What did you, like, don't you even fucking start with me right now?
So we were thanking him for his service, all this, and then after Reddit has a heyday, YouTube's thanking him for his service now. Reddit is
On my comment section.
No way.
Yeah, and then Reddit is posting him with a Medal of Honor. Like they're doing good
Like good
Photoshop
Photoshop.
Oh my
jobs.
God, that's awesome.
They're
I'm
putting
getting, like-
purple hearts on him.
my
I
God,
have
that's
people in my
awesome.
comment section making up my fucking combat history and all my deployments and everything. I'm like, guys, you...
One episode and Brandon's now a vet.
We got to do this. This is so good. This is
That's
so
two,
good.
Evan.
E2.
This is so good.
I was like, yeah, I didn't think Reddit would take it to the level. I was like, oh God, they're having a heyday with this one.
Yeah, as soon as I showed up that day, I'm like, man, I know why I'm here. I'm part of the bit.
I stood up, walked across, pulled my purple heart out of its box. I was like, this is for you, Brandon.
You
Brandon's
got about
"Get it,
getting close,
get
and I'm
it." Like, I'm not wearing that thing. We were talking about Clint Romachet and how he just carries his in his.
Dude, he gave it to Rich, and Rich wore it around for like 2 hours. Did you hear that story?
Yeah.
Oh, we told
Am I not supposed to say it?
No, we told it on.
Oh my God, it's
dude.
awesome. Dude, so hilarious because like seeing him walk around with an MOH, like,
Rich being rich with an
Rich. Oh my God, that guy is a fucking national treasure. Like, I don't know of too many people that are more funny than that guy.
That's one that hands down one of the funniest dudes you will ever meet.
I don't know-
100%.
I don't know a single other person that I've ever met that has that sort of natural, funny energy and just just the amount of energy he has without drugs.
No,
Never met one.
he's just and now he tore into the.
He might be on drugs though. I don't know.
100. Well, he gets drug tested.
Oh well.
So he says.
So he says.
Lame.
Cody, is that true?
I've seen Bad Lieutenant. I know what they fucking do.
He's a lieutenant now?
detective.
Yeah, he
Yeah,
got,
lieutenant
he got-
detective.
yeah, he ended up getting promoted. Did you see the picture? He's been doing his squats.
Oh, with his. Oh yeah, because he had that cake out.
Yeah, Rich is all caked up in it, man. He's wearing like super tight pants and he's like swearing in to his new position.
All the comments.
All the comments.
It's him getting sworn in. Like this. It should be like congratulations. Everyone was like, that ass though.
Damn, boys, like cake
ass.
emojis all over the place.
Goddamn, officer dump truck, you can knee on my neck anytime.
Oh, that was good.
Holy shit. So you were just on Joe Rogan. How was
Yeah.
that experience? You're actually friends
That was
with
a hell of a
That was a
segue.
hell of a
I know.
Yeah.
That's what I do.
Yeah, yeah.
From that joke to Joe Rogan.
Well, they had a couple jokes like that at the comedy mothership. It was fucking wild.
You're just over there trying to chase that monetization icon back. Like, no.
Yeah, that's the third time I've done it. We'll see. I mean, we'll see how it goes. Like if I have a lot of coffee, I can be like, I go full blackout mode. I was saying a lot of weird shit about like how stupid communism is and like how it's a failed ideology and you just need to like eliminate it from the globe. Like, you know, why do you even try? It's just, it should be illegal. Anyway, so I was just
one
like,
coffee later.
I was like, "Meh," you know, talking about like
I
failed
won't drink at
political
the family
ideologies.
function
Like,
and political.
Yeah, one coffee later. Everyone's like,
one
"Ah!"
coffee later, we were talking about, I think we started the entire thing talking about how there's like, we were talking about this morning. I started the whole thing talking about like I read this statistic where 16% of the American population is below an 85 IQ, which doesn't make them, it excludes them from military service because they don't have a job. And considering how big the military is, there's not a job for them to do. Yeah. So when you think about like 40 plus million people, like, okay, well, that's a lot of people. How does that impact? So
40 million people that's 15% of the total populace in the
40
United
plus,
States.
yeah.
That's what he was saying with that.
That's I talked about. I heard Jordan Peterson talk about that. Where he's just like, like that is the minimum IQ for you to be able to do anything in the military without it being a detriment to the military more so than you're serving.
Yeah, and
So
there's
it's like,
terrifying.
Yeah, and
dude,
that's
you're
a good chunk of the population.
You're so dumb they won't let you get shot. Like, that's
Or
insane,
clean the
dude.
toilet.
well, and they don't consider it ethical. They can't put you in the military because if you have below a certain IQ, you can't go to war.
Yeah, so they're
because
being nice to
it's-
the special kids.
Yeah.
Okay.
And I think that's how we like kicked it off, and we were talking for quite a while, and it was fun. Like I like Joe, and this is not like like I've been friends with him now for a few years. He's really really fun to hang out with, and I mean he's just a fucking cool guy. I know everybody says that. Everybody's like, oh, but he is. Like we hunt together, and we mainly talk about hunting, and we talk a lot of archery. We talk a lot about whatever. But yeah, he's a lot of fun. Like just period, just like you would think he is. He's a fucking comedian. He is funny, but he's also like
Hardworking. He has that drive behind him, which I think we all gravitate towards. Like, that's why I love this group of people. It is the drive that is behind them. It's not making excuses. Like, I want to grow. I want to continue to create. I want to continue to grow. I want to make businesses. I want to do whatever. And you're like,
some of us
fuck, it's
do it.
motivating.
Yeah.
Yes, it's so fucking motivating to be around.
And that's what I like about Joe is that he's not like people try to cancel him for the people he's got on or like the positions he takes. He's not the guy with the answers, but he's a really fucking good interviewer. And he knows what questions to ask, and he's just genuinely curious. He just wants to learn more shit.
And he'll never he'll say that out front. It's like, hey, I'm not an expert in this. I am a comedian that runs a podcast that likes fighting.
I'm
that
the Fear
interviews-
Factor guy.
Yeah. And he's like, I don't take my word for science. It's like, that's what these guys are for. I'm just interviewing, which if you shit on somebody for interviewing random people, that's on you, not on Joe Rogan.
no, there's so many different shows, and there's so many different people that have been on that. Like just listening, and I mean 3 hours for a podcast is like that's a lot either way, but there's such a wide variety of people that show up there. It's hard not to be entertained by who he's got on the show, and if he can unpack certain ideas or whatever it might be, you get a little bit more insight into some of these people and what they're saying. Like I think podcasters in general are fucking amazing for that, because you can get information out, you can talk to a wide variety of people, you can get different perspectives, and not to be too serious, but it's fucking awesome because mainstream media is dog shit. Like it's dog shit. It's formatted, it's owned by advertisers, you can't say anything, like it's just so bad. And thank God we got something like these things. Like,
And
'cause
podcasts are one of the only forms of consuming media we have left in 2023 that's actually like long form, not ADD, not clipped up into 8 seconds. Like it's actual long form content that you can actually just put your entire mental focus into, or put on in the background, whatever. But it's long form content. So you can actually have discussions that are meaningful and not just drive by intellectualism or whatever.
Which I like. And we were talking about that with Cody, was the weightlifter guy you were?
Oh, Sam Sulek.
Sam Sulek. It's this new age. So like a new age of entertainment where you see these YouTubers like Sam are popping off, gain 2 million in a single year. And it's long form, slow digestible content that's not fast cuts, no thumbnails, nothing crazy. But now these dudes are taking the fuck off. So we're seeing if it's this new wave where people want this style of content. I mean, it's interesting. That's why I love it. I'm like, why is this working now?
It's like Charlie too, man. Moist Critical. He doesn't have cuts. That man will sit and talk for 15, 20, 30 minutes, no cuts, and still interesting as fuck.
Talk like this the entire time.
I've never noticed that about his
He
stuff.
might have 1 cut or 2 cuts every couple videos, but there are sometimes he'll sit there for 20 minutes and just talk.
I don't know how I never noticed that. That's
You
weird.
never, Charlie doesn't cut, bro.
Well, to be fair, I don't watch a lot of his content, but like every once in a while, I'll click on something he's done. I'd never noticed that.
Yeah, who do you guys watch outside of like you watch his channel? You watch his channel.
No,
that's
pretty.
it.
God, you guys are so hot.
Watch
Too. You're
Sam
a
Sulek and
couple.
Brandon.
I like you both just pointed at each other. When you guys watching, you both went like that. I'm like,
I'll watch it.
I can't wait for the marriage episode.
Well, according to the unsubreddit, and the podcast, I guess we are getting married, but I watch his stuff. I watch like Corridor Digital, Meat Canyon,
yeah.
Meat Canyon's
Yeah,
second
yeah.
channel, is
Dude,
fucking
Papa
poppin'.
Meat.
Dude, Papa Meat, if you've not watched Papa
I literally just pulled it up when you guys were talking about it earlier. It looks-
Dude, his editor, Nick, Papa.
Oh, you know his editor?
Yeah.
Yeah, hook us up. I need, yeah. No, no, seriously, the way they do retention beats and comedy beats and everything is really like hats off to him. It's very well done.
It's amazing, dude. The thumbnails are.
Well, I know, like
those are so
everything, and it's man, I just get so I'm like, oh, but it motivates you for watching what works and understanding why it works. I'm like, okay, we gotta do the same thing because his channel now, he's doing what $500,000 to $1 million out per upload easy on his.
Yeah, what he was telling me too is Hunter Meekan, he loves doing the second channel, and that's why you see him putting like 4 videos a week out on there.
Because like when he does main channel stuff, he gets like 5 million views, 10 million views, whatever.
Once a
but
month.
It's so much fucking work. Whereas his second channel, he just gets to. He's an organically funny person.
Oh, yeah.
And he gets to just be himself on camera, and that's so conducive to just like a creative mind.
It's awesome to watch.
And he uses his voices in the Papa Meat too.
Yeah.
Dude,
It's
and
so
then
good.
him and Wendigoon starting their podcast,
Yeah.
which I'm super stoked
Wendigoon's
for.
starting 2 podcasts.
Yeah, Wendigoon's got one with Charlie now too. Speaking of Charlie,
Yeah.
yeah, it's Wendigoon and Charlie, and then Papa Meat and Wendigoon have one coming out.
We need to get him back on the podcast.
Oh, he
He talked to me last night. He said he would love to come down and be on this podcast again. So Papa Meat coming soon.
both. Oh, yeah, we'll get Wendigoon.
Go which
and
one?
Papa
Wendigoon
Meat.
or Papa Meat?
Wendigoon.
All of them. All of them want to come
Have
down.
you, do you know
Wait,
Wendigoon?
Meat Canyon's coming down?
Yeah.
No.
Oh, well, there you go. That's,
Everyone's coming.
teaser.
Lots to come.
I love it. Dude, Wendigoon, if you've never watched Wendigoon, he is one of the most well-spoken, again, a dude that blew up in 2 years. No cuts. This dude used an iPhone for his first 1 million subscribers.
He has
Two of which he made about me.
Yeah. Like,
Calling me B tier Brandon. I still love that joke. It's very
dude,
funny.
B tier. So
5-hour-long videos.
5 hour long. And they get like in 3 days, dude, Blood Meridian, he did a book review that was 3 hours or 5 hours long.
Yeah, you
5
told me
hours.
about Blood Meridian.
Yeah,
actually,
we
Evan.
were at the shop.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He did a review on Blood Meridian.
It wasn't really a review. It was like a summary. Like he was going through, he would read sections of the book, and it was like kind of like a quarter of the audiobook essentially, but just like he would summarize things and talk about the deeper meanings and whatnot. It was so fucking good.
3 million views in like 2 days.
And it's
5 hours. 5 fucking hours.
He's a great storyteller. Like he's just a very, very talented storyteller.
Yeah, when you have him,
He's
like,
going to be massively uncomfortable. We're saying all this about him, by the way.
dude. Dude, him and Hunter, did you watch it? They're like trying to compliment each other.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's when that gun that comes out, like they're that team. They have it going on. I'm so excited for what they come up with. You have to check out Wendigoon.
Yeah, I mean, I'll listen to this podcast or watch it. I don't know, every other week. No. I most of the time it's like if you guys are on it, then I'll listen to it or I'll watch it.
It's about to be a lot more.
Like, I didn't know Fat Electrician like literally until he was on Unsub. And then I got turned on to his channel. It's like, that's a fucking great channel. Like,
It's
this guy's
really
amazing.
good.
It's
That's
so
another
good.
guy
That's
who I
another
don't
one.
miss. Yeah, I don't miss his videos.
Dude,
ever.
he's awesome. Like his videos are great. Like the guy's clearly articulate. He understands the information he's putting out. Like it's fucking awesome. Like,
And he makes
so-
it fun. He makes
Yeah,
it
yeah.
so much
Yeah.
fun because, as he said, he's like, historians miss that that human element to the story. So he adds in, he finds that, he uncovers, and he adds that to the story, and you get to watch like his who's the crazy vet from World War II?
McNasty.
McNasty.
That was a great video.
Sliding down like
such a good,
dude, the
such a good
eggs.
video. Yeah.
You know, we could rename this part of the podcast. Unsub talks about itself.
We talk about this.
This is how great we are, guys.
Listen about all the great shit we do. All the great guests we're gonna have. I was actually going to ask you though. So like when you, let's say you go on Unsub or you go on Rogan or you go on something like that, do you go back and watch yourself on it?
No, I despise watching myself and most anything other than skits. I think I watch the skits because it's funny.
Not that I hate watching myself too, man. I have to sometimes, like just to review the video the first time. I'll watch it one time, be like, all right, video's good to go, push it out.
Right.
But I won't go back and
I'm
watch
like
my shit.
a masochist because I'll go back and watch it every time, and I don't enjoy it. Like I am so I watch it to be like critical of myself.
Yeah.
Like, am
It's
I
like
talking
gameplay
over
or
people?
something.
Yeah.
But I have to go back and watch it. And I'll watch it thinking about how other people that I know are going to watch it and how they would react to it. It's kind of weird.
I've tried to go back because there are things that I don't like about my speech where, you know, I'll use, that was perfect. You know, I use that, I don't know, too many times. So it's a pause in the conversation instead of saying, you say, you know, or something like that.
I really wish Eli would
like
close
it.
the door of the bathroom before he just, you know, take a piss, but
It just drives me.
he used the man silencer.
Yeah. But I should probably watch more just so I can tighten whatever I'm saying up. Just fucking tighten it up because most of the time I just babble.
We're all good at that.
Yeah. Thank God for jump cuts.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Thank God for GVAN. Just what a cock on that guy, by the way. Real nice man.
Real nice man.
All the way around.
Very round.
Yeah.
Cock.
Just makes him sound fat.
I'm not the fat cock.
Oh, well, there you go.
Okay.
The fattest of the penis. Okay, there we go. I can't watch any of my own stuff. I've never watched a single episode of Unsubscribe. Not a single one.
I haven't either. I'll be completely honest. I've never watched an unsubscribe before.
I watch
Love
them
you
as soon as
guys.
they come out. Because I have to, I don't know. For me, the feedback is helpful. But
I don't remember the majority of unsubscribes we've done.
that's true. Well, for one reason or the other. Which you're still sober till tomorrow.
I've got tomorrow, guys. Today is the 29th, so I have one more day of sobriety. It's been 25 days now, I think.
Damn.
Yeah.
Dude, look how jacked you got, though. Look how many videos came out. If you want to know Cody's weakness, it's alcohol. I like
Ow, god damn.
There's 6 Tito's bottles sitting over
We're
there.
prepping up.
I just like Cody's kryptonite. He's like, give me the kryptonite. Oh, there we go. There we go. He takes kryptonite. He's like, I made 12 videos and millions of dollars this month.
Time to get drunk again. Time to go back to 2 videos a month.
That's not going to have any lasting implications with the comment section of your videos.
Cody, stop.
Cody's not uploading. Get out of the gutter.
Say hi to Eli. And it's just him again.
Just goes right back. I'm like, oh, no.
It's like the GTA wasted on both of us. Like, just, we get canceled immediately.
Oh,
Our
man.
editor leaks all our shit.
I said something on Twitter yesterday. The canceling's hitting me a little bit.
Oh, what'd
Wait,
you say?
what happened?
You know the
see
new
that.
Fallout live action is coming out.
I
I
haven't
did
watched
see
the
that.
trailer. Was the trailer good or bad?
I don't know.
I just saw
so
that one
Fallout's a
screenshot.
video game.
Okay, cool.
Okay,
I got
so
it. Yep.
it's a video game that takes
It's basically
place
about modern day New Mexico.
that got nuked.
No, it's just modern day New
Never
Mexico,
mind, you're right.
poverty-ridden, just fucking hellhole, yeah.
So where there's mutants, just replace it, or Mexicans replace it with mutants, and now you have the story for Fallout.
Okay. Yeah.
Just a lot of gun violence and double wides in the middle of the desert, and that's Fallout.
Sounds
New Vegas.
fun.
Oh, I hate that's what it is.
Yeah, Evan, do we ever tell you about Swagger Souls coming out here and shooting at the range with us?
No.
Do you know Swagger?
He has a radio voice and he wears a Knight's helmet all the
Right.
time in his
Is that a Twitch
videos.
stream?
Oh yeah. I know exactly what you're talking about.
Yeah, he's got the really great
Yeah.
voice. He came out here and he picked out a bunch of guns from Brandon's AK place, and we took him to the range that you guys had. He was operating like all of them perfectly. Some of the stuff that Brandon didn't even know how to do.
Yeah, a really obscure shit.
Yeah.
Like stuff that when I bought it, I didn't quite know like how to extend the stock on because
Right.
like the calico or whatever, just shit that it's not normal gun stuff.
Right.
Did it flawlessly.
Yeah, it turns out like he was in Australia with the rest of his gaming crew that he runs around with during the height of COVID, when they wouldn't let you out of the house and you had to have like a ticket and check in, and you got an hour a day outside. No one else could be around, like all that crazy shit. So he was playing VR and there were a couple of VR games with guns in them, and he learned how to operate every single fucking firearm through VR video games. And I guess they're spot on because he came over and was just killing it, man.
I was impressed. He's like, yeah, I've shot a gun a couple times. I'm like, are you fucking kidding me? It was impressive.
Even the boys last week, they've shot maybe one time before, and they cleared the Texas tree.
Yeah.
The Texas Star cleared it the first time.
Really?
These guys have only
Well, with your race gun though.
yeah, but that's still it
was like the old
race
STI.
gun. Yeah, but they still first time without missing. They're like tink 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 tink, and we're like,
Where did they get?
Their main content's VR.
VR, literal
okay.
VR
Yeah, that
training
makes
is
sense.
all they're doing.
Yeah, but that
The
makes
military's been taking notes on this shit for so long. They're like, oh, Jesus Christ. What?
We're just getting that quick information pieces in there, dude. That shit's crazy.
It's funny when they turned around though, because like one of them like missed one, but literally like 6 shots cleared a 5-star. He's just like, oh damn, I missed one, and he turned around. We're just like, yeah, no, that's good. That's fine.
And then they're
was
like
quick,
this
too.
with the gun. They're just handing it off because then they don't know what to
They don't
do.
know
And
what
you're
to
like,
do, yeah.
oh, this is fucking great. You're safe. You're terrifyingly accurate with never shooting a firearm before. VR works. Now I get to clear it. This is great. And then no fear shooting any of the guns either.
And now all you like VR fucks who've never shot a gun before, all right, calm down. You're not John Wick.
Or are you? Take
Or
the,
are you?
Take the
Or
officer
are you?
service weapon.
That's your message. Make sure you take that thing. We need
You
it.
pay taxes, it's yours.
Let's be honest. If you play VR, you don't pay taxes.
So, Evan, let's hear some moto shit from you to motivate. all
Moto?
Yeah, I want it motivational, Evan. It's one of my favorite things. Guys, one of my favorite sayings I learned from this man was, you don't work for us. We work for you at the end of the day. Everything we do isn't for our own benefit. It is to benefit you guys. It is to motivate you guys. It is to make you laugh, smile, because you provide us with these opportunities to do these amazing things. That's why I like
Until it's time to joke about firing you.
Yeah.
Boom.
Yeah, until
and then you
that.
don't know 50-50.
50-50.
What was it like getting because you are, I respect the shit out of you of what you've done in that space because you come from Green Beret, thank you for your service.
Oh, thank you,
fucking
thank you.
Special Forces, man, to the CI doing all that stuff. And then, and now during that time,
CIA, not CI. He wasn't a rat.
Yeah.
It was
three-letter word.
Three-letter.
Or is he?
Well, I mean, I left that world like 10 years ago now, so
But during
I'm
that
fairly out.
Yeah, I mean,
Yeah.
you were like, "Hey, now I'm going to learn coffee during," and that's where that's your autism power. You're like, "I like coffee."
It's just whatever I'm into. Like, it doesn't really matter. I'm into coffee. I've been into coffee since 1997, which is
That's
quite a while. I started
autistic
roasting
that
it.
You know the fucking day.
I've been roasting it since 2006 ish, and it was a hobby. I would come home and I would concentrate on the R's, which is like R&R. It was a term that we used to use all the time, but it was like reading, running, roasting. Like those are the things that I would do. And my wife actually had a coffee shop in Denver. She was a coffee person. She's a ultra runner. When we connected, it was like, well, I'm going to build a coffee shop.
When did you meet her along the way?
2012. So 2012 we met. She was at this cool coffee shop in Denver, and
What game do you spit?
just like zero. I mean, I don't have a lot. Like, you like coffee? I like coffee. Well, cool. We should go coffee sometime. She's like, we're in a coffee shop, dumbass. Like, you want coffee?
I just picture you be like, "I won't have sex with you."
Yeah. New titty's nice. Oh,
We're in a coffee shop, but I see you're without children.
you look like you're single. What's that mean? What? Espresso, please.
It smells like you're ovulating.
You look like you might be so horny you're blind. Is that true? If that's the
20%
case.
of the time, it works every time.
I just, but it's everything that I get into. I just like sink 100% of whatever I have into it because I can't help myself. I have to like, I say this thing, it's like the more you peel the onion, the more it makes you cry at times because the more that you get into the details of things, the more interesting it becomes. And coffee is very much like that. And I don't want to go too far into coffee because we'll lose the entire audience because they're going to be like, fuck off. Like, I'm done with this conversation. But it's the same thing. Like,
Well, it's not
being in commando or trying to be a commando or doing those things, like, you have to be an artisan of the craft. And it's anything that you do. Like, I think everybody here, you guys are creators. I'm creative. Everybody's creative. Well, how do you become the best at what you're doing? I have no interest in being average. Like, that's not a thing that I aspire to, because I'm average, but I'm trying to run the whole machine in the red, right? It's, maybe above average IQ with, 5'7", 160 pounds. Like, I got to run the machine in the red all the time. And I don't have the ability to run it at 75 or 50%, because if I do, that means I'm 75 or 50%, which isn't good enough. It drives me fucking bananas. And so for me, it's actually, not to get too fucking deep, but there's, what is it? Eudaimonia. Eudaimonia is this term that actually, it was phrased from Greek mythology and Greek philosophy more appropriately. And if you follow the footsteps from the roots of Western philosophy into what we're doing now, when you're talking about your purpose, your mission, and defining who you are with virtue and courage, and when you start to take really heavy pieces of wisdom out of that, and when I look at wisdom, justice, and we're balancing those two things with the ability to plug in courage on top of that, you've got this very specific playbook that has been templated over thousands of years, and it's been pressure tested over thousands of people that have been more intelligent than me, that have been born into different and worse circumstances, and they've been able to accomplish much more. So I try to go to this point, which is eudaimonia is striving to accomplish very difficult things for the action of fulfillment and happiness through accomplishing very difficult things. So finding happiness and fulfillment through accomplishing things that you don't necessarily think that you can do, but then building confidence in the action. And that's one of the things I've just done my entire adult life is, hey, I'm going to go try. If I fail, what's the worst? We're all headed to the same place. Not to address mortality, but we're all headed to the same place. The finish line for us is we're all going to be equalized at the end. So we've got to get everything we can out of the short amount of time that we're here. And if we don't, we're doing a disservice to the opportunity that's been given to us. We've been born into this incredible country, not to go on a political rant, but like, man, this is truly the land of opportunity. We can drive ourselves to be what we want to be. And if we don't take advantage of that opportunity, we're wasting our lives. So for me, I'm wringing the sponge. That's all I'm doing. I'm like, I'm going to get every fucking ounce out of this thing.
So TLDR, you're going to die one day, do rad shit.
Yes. Yeah. It's like,
nothing separates you from, like, everyone is a human at the end of the day. Genghis Khan, dude was a step kid, nothing. Just like a fucking poor ass person. A lot of people, the greats throughout history have been nothing that rose to that. Because,
Rose through the ranks and became one of the world's greatest.
Yeah, exactly. And now you're
carry
related
his
to it.
DNA.
Everyone has a dream, dude.
Yeah, everyone has a dream.
Greatness is in your fingertips.
Yeah. He wanted to cure global climate change, so he killed a majority of the populace to do that. But as you were saying, everyone has that chance to do something great or to actually try in their expertise or something that they gravitate towards. Just a lot of people don't do that because they're uncomfortable. Second people get uncomfortable, you will see people quit. Uncomfortability is waking up each day and being like, hey, I remember when I moved to Utah, when we all moved, everyone moved to Utah at the first time, and you had taken out credit debt just to get Black Rifle going at that time. Didn't start off, Evan wasn't handed like $2 billion. He's like, here you go.
My dad's a
Fuck.
logger.
Yeah.
Like, my dad's a logger. Like if I didn't build it, like there was nobody writing me a check.
And that's the thing. It was that knowing the circumstance, understanding the risks, and then being motivated enough to pull through those trials and tribulations. Like, hey, I'm going to make this happen no matter what. Same for Cody, same for Brandon. Everyone's done that on
Something
their
that
own level.
I've also like noticed is, and I think this is just the way that men are wired, is it's not necessarily like you accomplishing your goal is not what drives you. It's not what gets you out of bed in the morning. It's not what gives you a dopamine, serotonin, whatever. It's being on the journey and knowing that you are succeeding at the goal and not having succeeded. Because once you hit that goal, you're just, lost.
Yeah.
So you find the next goal.
It's the next mission.
Yeah, you'll never be happy after you hit a goal. You're happy when you're doing a good job at getting to that goal.
That chase. That's what I find like the most invigorating. It's like, fuck, this has to come together and I have to continue because I'm not going to let it fail. I'll hit my speed bumps. I'll hit my failures, but I will make sure that goal hits its mark.
Dude, that hit me hard. Like as soon as I got to the point where I considered myself successful, as far as, I did the thing I wanted to do since I was like 15, 16. I'm a big gun tuber, YouTuber. I'm making all this money. I'm doing all this stuff, whatever. Like, dude, I felt the most empty. I didn't know where to go.
Congress.
Well, that's,
Let's go.
This is what we do, unfortunately. It's like goal, obtain, achievement unlocked. Congress?
While that's something like I do actually genuinely care about, like I think that's something that is important that needs to be done. That does prove the point of like, dude, you have to always have that next thing. You need to have a bigger thing, a thing that you think is a goal worth accomplishing, that you are on your way toward. Like, if you don't have that, like, who are you?
I truly believe that.
Yo, what if your dad wanted to give you a loan, but he's like, this motherfucker gave me a snake?
True. Yeah, it's very true. Like,
Hey, son, open this cooler. I got a loan for you.
hey, there's some cash in there, Evan. Why don't you check that out?
It was a
I'm
cobra.
"Ah."
It stabbed me in the neck. Yeah, bitch.
Oh, Dad, I
Yeah.
chose a non-venomous snake.
This was like a bull snake. I think it's so important. I think it's, facing the days with courage and understanding that, your own mortality, which is one of the things I've truly, I guess I've been blessed with, is thinking about your death every day for, I still do quite a bit, but like every day and sometimes, minute to minute, sometimes second to second at times, it's really puts your life into perspective as to what matters. How do you triage your time? How do you prioritize against what you're doing? What do you want out of life? The hard part about transitioning, not the way that but transitioning out of the military,
Not in the new Fallout
it's
way.
like, not in the new Fallout.
Follow me
but
on Twitter.
It's it's like your purpose. Like how you define your next mission, your purpose, from the essence of your being. I think a lot of people struggle with that. And I think a lot of people, if they would just get over their fear, address life with more courage and perseverance and say failure is great, because through failure, you're going to fucking grind yourself into moon dust. You're going to eliminate ego and say, well, eventually if I keep trying, I will succeed at whatever it is. It doesn't fucking matter what I'm talking about. It's like, hey, I'm going to keep moving. I'm going to keep trying. I love building skills that take like decades, because it takes like ounces equal pounds. And you keep chipping away and you keep chipping away, and you're never done. You're never done until like the lights go out. And to be fair, I don't know exactly what, I don't think anybody really can tell you exactly what's going to happen. So it's like, I'm just trying to get everything I can out of the time that we are, but the time that we're here. And I fucking love it. Like this is a rad experience from my point of view. And I'm just not willing to say I'm going to waste it, like waste a second of it. I'll find myself at times where I'm like, in the last 10 years or so, where you get down or you get fucking depressed. Everybody does, right? They go through peaks and valleys of their life. And 99% of the time, what gets me out and the things that work for me are like not to be morbid, but it's like, I know a ton of dudes that would fucking replace me like this. And they aren't here. Like some of those guys aren't here right now. So one of the things that I do every night and every morning that I'm home is like my kids get every hug that I can put into my family, right? Every hug I can put back into my kids. Like I tell them I love them. I tell them that I care about them. I read them stories. I spend every second of my time with them. And because there's this person that represents some of my best friends that have been either killed in combat or have taken their own lives afterwards. And they're not here to do that. And I guarantee if they were here to do that today, they would fucking do it. And it keeps me honest. It keeps me driven and focused. It keeps me plugged in the right place. And it also keeps me from getting depressed because I'm like, dude, I can't. I got to keep my head in the game. Got to keep my head in the game. I got to be positive. I got to plug in. And what I've been telling people is like, it's positive fuel. I'm not here to be a motivational speaker, give you a motivational speech, but it's like you got people that are going to broker in toxic fuel, and you got people that are going to broker in positive fuel. I'm only trying to plug in positive fuel, and so that's kind of my drive. It's like positive fuel, keep working, find things that you love, and I've also said like it's not good enough for you just to be passionate about something because. Yeah, you can be passionate about it, but you have to be so driven and passionate about something that when the weight of the world is ground you into what you think is emotional fucking moon dust, you can grab whatever it is that you love out of that bag and plug it in for power to dig you back out of that hole. And if you don't have it, then you need to go on a search to find it.
I think I'm going to go home and work out.
On that statement, we're just gonna fucking end it and move to the after show. That was fucking beautifully said. We're gonna, if you guys want to check out the after show, come check it out. Cody, come sign us out.
All right,
You're
everyone.
doing great.
I'm reflecting on fucking all this information that Evan put in my head. I'm like, oh my God, what?
I can't even make a dick joke out of it.
I can.
Like I was going to scream come again, but not now. Fuck.
If you guys, for some reason, respect us, just look at how we're reacting to that information. Like
Yeah. Okay. Well, everyone, that was the Unsubscribe podcast. We were joined today by Eli Double Fap, God Emperor of BRCC, Evan Hafer, and Brandon Herrera.
And our boy, Cody, donut operator. Where can we find you, Mr. Evan?
Joe Rogan.
At evanhafer.com or what? No, at Evan Hafer. That's basically like where you can find me. That's kind of what I do.
And your podcast?
Yeah, my podcast is Black Rifle Coffee Podcast. I kind of run that. I talk to a lot of vets. Mostly right now, what I'm talking about is a lot of philosophy because I think it can help a lot of people that are a little bit lost. So I've been talking a lot about purpose and mission and how do we really focus the subculture of vets around redefining what we do.
Yeah. It's really good stories, too, because you're talking to some of the coolest individuals possible.
Like I talked to
coolest
a lot of,
individuals, and then us.
Yeah, and then fucking shitbags like us. Just complete shitbags. Awesome, guys. Go check us out on the fucking after show. Kisses.